Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Hawkinsimmer, and today we're doing another speed build. This is my very first speed build in the new world of the high school years pack. This is in Copperdale. It's adorable. It's kind of weird though. I'm sure we'll get into that, but this is just a regular schmegular suburban home. It has 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. Open floor plan, a 2-car garage, and a little office nook upstairs on the landing. It's got a relatively small front porch and a also relatively small back porch, but I was able to get in a pool and a nice little grilling and living area in the backyard, a couple of planters, a few things for your Sims to do outside, and enjoy this lovely view of the bay in Copperdale. How cute is she? She's real cute, okay? So obviously at this point I have only been building really with this pack. I coincidentally was out of town for the entire weekend after the pack launched. I was getting my motorcycle endorsement, and in Indiana you either have to go down, get your permit, pay for that, take a test, and then go down and take a written and driving test on the bike. And I didn't want to do that, and instead I took this it's through the state of Indiana, this course, and it's a 3-day training course. You learn everything from the beginning to the very end, take a test, all the things. It was exhausting. It was from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. I just got home an hour ago to do this voiceover. So I haven't really gotten to play with this pack. On Friday we had an evening class, so I tried to get a ton in before we did that, and I was able to get that done, thank God. But I have to do this voiceover, so I have done this singular build, and I have done a video that sort of has some cast features in it. You'll see that probably next week, but it's not really highlighting high school years as much as I would like to, and I think that's because I don't personally relate a whole lot to Gen Z casts as a staunch millennial. So don't get it twisted though, I love Gen Z. I'm absolutely not a Gen Z hater. Love Gen Z, y'all are cute as heck. But anyway, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to play with this is what I'm saying. But the few things I have seen, the build buy stuff is gorgeous. I love it. The windows are okay. They're so-so. I like them, but I don't love them. But they're good. I can see myself using them. I love the front door. I think there's another door for medium wall height, but I obviously haven't used that one. The couches are okay. I don't love the 3-seater couch. I think it's a very specific look. I think it's a good look for a modern build situation, and I think it's nice that we got a couch that suits that style, that doesn't look like the early Sims 4 couches that I always say they look like the kind of sort of almost plastic ones that are in hospital waiting rooms, if you know what I'm talking about, or doctors' offices waiting rooms, those, they're kind of plasticky, you know what I mean? Easy to wipe down from bodily fluids and such. Yeah, that's always what early Sims 4 couches and chairs and beds usually look like to me. So I think it's kind of nice that we have it. It's just not my favorite. I do really like the 2-seater couch. There's actually 2 of them. There's a couch, a sofa, and a bench, I think. They're both really cute. I like the chairs. They're very specific, but I like them a lot. Very boho. I'm into it, which is funny because I keep hearing this described as an Art Deco pack, and while I feel there is a lot of Art Deco, I don't know, the vibes are kind of all over the place. It's very interesting that I feel a lot of people are describing this style as Art Deco, and I wasn't getting that as strongly as I was getting the boho in a lot of the pieces. The bedroom furniture I feel is pretty evenly divided between a few different styles. There's very clearly a boho bed. There's one that's very traditional, and there's one that's a little bit more just contemporary of sorts. Kind of would fit in with parenthood furniture. And then I guess there is one that's sort of Art Deco. Yeah, no, that one that looks like it's supposed to be wrought iron, that one is very Art Deco, right? And then there's another one that kind of is just like kind of boring and bland, really. But I like all of them. I think they're all good. But I think the bedroom furniture, the styles are split pretty evenly between a few different styles and not one in particular. There is no landscaping with this new pack, and there is one new flooring, and I think, right? I only used one. It's tile. I really like that tile. I'm really into that. And then there are a few new wallpapers. There's like a wallpaper that is like supposed to be ice cream dripping almost, or that's what it looks like to me. And then the hexagon one, I love the hexagon one. I know that it's under the wallpapers, but I am going to frequently use that as a backsplash or like a tile. We actually just installed hexagon white tiles as a backsplash in our kitchen, so yeah, I'm gonna see myself using that as a backsplash and not a wallpaper for sure. I really, really like that one. And then there's like a lot of like bricks, I think, that are cinder block kind of bricks and things that are supposed to be for the school. There are some good debug landscaping options. There's some good trees, and like the little vines that I put on the side of the house, those are debug from this pack. Everything that I used in this build is base game and high school years only. So if this is the only pack you have, you should be able to download it. And just to be totally like transparent, I did use a reference photo off of Pinterest for this house. I rarely use Pinterest anymore. It was a really big deal when I was like late in high school. Everyone used Pinterest for everything all the time, but I was in high school, so we used it for nothing, for dreaming about future houses and inspirational quotes and looking at pictures of Grumpy Cat. R.I.P. I feel like Grumpy Cat kind of dates me, maybe. But anyway, I did use this as a reference photo. I don't always do that, but I do sometimes. And obviously I take inspiration from things, of course. But like I followed the reference photo of this home pretty specifically for like the front of it and whatever. But I really like the way it turned out. I think it's super cute. I'm just finishing up the backyard. It's one of those lots that's like wider than it is deep. So the yard is always kind of off to the side for me. And I think it works. I don't think it looks weird or anything, but it definitely kind of is awkwardly spaced. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of grass in this backyard, but I kind of figure given where they are in this world, like realistically, if you were thinking about how you would actually behave living here, like you would have all of this land all around you to do things. I really wanted to add in places to sit and a grill and the pool so that your Sims had a lot to do out here. Just had to take a casual dinner break. Again, like I said, I just got home. We had to be there at like 7 o'clock this morning, and I got home at 6 o'clock my time. So the course was in another town an hour away that I'm very familiar with and go to all the time, but it is in Central Time and I live in Eastern Time. And it's not that I'm not used to this. Actually, my hometown, which is about 45 minutes away, is also in Central Time, and I lived there and worked here for about a year. So I'm pretty used to doing the time change stuff, but it especially is terrible coming from there to home now because you lose an hour. So I left that town at 4 p.m. and it's only an hour drive, but I got home at 6, and like that sucks. So I've basically been going all weekend, and now I have to wake up and go to work at 5:30 tomorrow morning. I wake up at 5:30. I go to work at 7. But I'm just crab-assing around about it because I'm just tired and grouchy and my body hurts. My left hand, which is like your hand that pulls in your clutch, is throbbing. It hurts so bad. Like I very easily could say I probably need to like ice it or something because it is so sore, because we sat in first gear like waiting for our turn to do what we needed to do often, like very often. So my hand is super sore and I'm just being a big baby about it. But anyway, had to take a dinner break. That obviously doesn't matter to you because in your time it happened you know, instantaneously. But anyway, we are moving on into the interior of this build. I did do the bathrooms off camera as usual. There weren't really new bathroom items other than a mirror, but you see that mirror throughout the rest of the build as well. I did struggle to decide on seating in here. I wanted to use the new couch, the 3-seater couch, but I ended up not. I didn't think it matched well actually with the 2-seater very well. So I used this base game one and just used the 2-seater, like the love seat from the pack, as almost like an accent. This pack did come with a few new rugs. This area rug I think is really nice. It has a few very versatile swatches and then some that are a little bit more specific to like the theme of the pack overall. But I like when they do that. I like when the rug has a lot of stuff, a lot of swatches that are specific to the pack theme, but then they have like 1 or 2 or 3 even that you could kind of use in any build. And then I use this bookcase. I love the bookcase. It's an interesting style. I don't love that you can see, like, I guess maybe there's supposed to be like peg holes or something in the back of it, but it has 3 spots that you can slot stuff to, and a lot of things slotted to that, so that was nice. I appreciate when it's not just that one base game plant that can slot to things, because we have a lot of objects, especially in early games and DLC, where that's the only thing that will slot into a position, that one plant that is ugly and nothing else. But this had a lot of things that could slot into it. I really like this end table. I know it's kind of lame, but I really like that end table. I needed something to go here, and using base game in only one pack, like, you don't have a lot of options, so you end up putting things like an end table or a side table or a buffet table, and then, you know, you put some crap on it and call it square. The dining room, like I said, this is just one open living area. I don't love doing builds quite this open in this way, but I think it worked really well. This feels like a very, like, bordering on McMansion type home, and so this floor plan I think makes a lot of sense. And then off to the side you can see there's a half bath and an entrance into the garage, which has a woodworking bench for your Sims to use. This kitchen layout I do often. It's always like a 5 tile wide. Oh no, wait, this one's 6. I usually do 5 tile wide, but this one is 6, and then there's 3 bar stools. You could have 4 if you wanted to, and your Sims could still easily route around it, but I thought it looked better with just the 3. But I do this often. I don't think I've ever used this swatch of cabinets. I use this, like, this cabinet a lot, but the swatch of it I haven't used very often, and I like the swatch, but I don't like the way it kind of clashes with the appliances. But again, you're only having base game options in this particular case because there were no appliances in the new pack, so you're limited on the swatches you could use. There were other appliances that had better swatches. I would have gone with black, but they were from other packs really. So I don't love this combination, but hopefully you have another pack that has a black appliance situation and you could swap those out, and I think it would look a little bit better, the contrast in that. Again, this pack has really, really cute mirrors. I think there's 2 or 3 of them, right? There's 2 wall mirrors and then 1 like standing mirror or floor mirror. And I don't love the floor mirror. It's a very specific vibe. I do end up using it, but it's obviously not something I'm going to be using in like all of my builds all of the time. But the other 2, I think honestly go really well with most everything, but notably Dream Home Decorator and like Tiny Living. Very mid-century looking in my opinion. And then I didn't have a designated office in this build, so I did use this extra space in the landing upstairs to give a desk with a computer. The bedrooms could have definitely fit a computer, but I just thought for this like family, it's supposed to be obviously, I guess, you know, a primary suite and then 2 teens bedrooms. I wanted to keep it teens. So I'm thinking 2 parents, and then I thought maybe they were 2 sisters perhaps. And not necessarily twins, not necessarily opposites, but 2 sisters that have distinct styles, I think. For the primary suite, I ended up doing mostly neutrals. And I know, listen, if you watch my videos, you know, and I know that I tend to always make my primary suites very bland and beige and very neutral in color, but I have a good reason for this one, and it's because I wanted to use a bed from the pack, and most of the swatches are very specific to this pack style, but they did give us a couple of neutral swatches. So there's not a lot of in between. It's either very high school years or neutral. So that this room is neutral, and that's why, and I'm going to use that as a justification, even if you feel like it isn't. I didn't ask, so hush. But anyway, before we get into the bedrooms, I want to go ahead and start talking about the 2 teen bedrooms, because I just want to like tell my whole story, you know? So I'm kind of thinking maybe twins, maybe not. Definitely like less than 3 years of distance for sure. And they have like different aesthetics, but a lot of overlap. So I kind of thought that the first bedroom we're going to get into is more feminine and soft, but like still very almost like kawaii style. I don't know a lot about kawaii stuff and like anime and things, so like if I'm not describing this correctly, please feel free to come for me. I should not speak on things I don't know enough about, but from what I understand of kawaii style, it's very like soft pink and feminine and delicate, and that's kind of the vibe I was going for in here. And in my mind, I thought that this sim was into fashion and beauty, and maybe they do like fashion like lookbooks or beauty tutorials. So I did give them like one of the new fancy computers. Also, let's talk curtains. We got a few new curtains, and they're so close. They're so close to good, but they're not great. Like, they're really close. I don't know. I don't love them, but I like them. I like them a lot, but I'm not totally in love with them. And I feel like they're just kind of awkward sizes for some windows, and I don't know. I don't love them, but I like them. I did have a weird lighting issue with one of them. This world has weird lighting. I thought we would get into it earlier, but we didn't. I'm going to make it fast. This world has really weird lighting. It's really, really harsh, and I don't understand why. I don't know what's going on over there, but y'all need to bump the saturation and the contrast down a little bit. A little bit. Okay. That's all I had to say about it. But anyway, I thought this sim was more into those like soft colors, and then they were into fashion and beauty, and they like to upload videos or like stream or something regarding fashion and beauty. So I went with that softer look in this room, blues, pinks, purples, and I don't know, I really like the way it turned out. I would never have wanted this room in high school, but I can see why someone else would. Then let's talk about what in my mind was a sister who is a similar age, and they're also into blues and pinks and purples, but darker aesthetic, more like goth scene kind of a thing. Not goth, not totally scene, but like more scene than goth, but not totally scene. Does that make sense? If y'all know, you know. So I thought that they were sort of into the same color scheme, but different saturations of them and things. And I thought they were both into streaming, but I thought this sim was more into painting or drawing and art. So I had a feeling that this sim like streamed their like art and stuff and painting. So again, they're both streamers. They kind of have same kind of vibes, but they're just like a little bit different. I don't know. I really like how this turned out. Like I think this pack lends itself well to this sort of like dichotomy between the two, and it ties them together as well. Like they're similar, but not the same. And I don't know why I really liked this concept. If it's probably not as fun and exciting as I thought it was, but that's what I was going for, and I think I nailed it. So there's that. So anyway, we are coming up on the end of this speed build. Please check out the screenshots that are going to follow it if you must, and definitely leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. I will have more high school years content, probably majority in the build by realm, but I will be doing a couple of cast things, so definitely check back for that. Also, if you're just new here, subscribe. I do mostly builds, but I do other things too. I have been recently doing a let's build on my channel where we're building a Cape Cod mansion in Brindleton Bay, and that's going really well. So if you like what you see, hit subscribe and come back for the next one. I upload new videos on Mondays and Thursdays, so I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!